Securing a job in the UK as an international student can be a very daunting task, especially when you just came in for your master's or your first degree, because of some of the requirements or some things that a lot of international students are not aware they need to do to position themselves properly to secure their first job before or immediately after they graduate. I school here in the UK where I did my master's, and trust me, before my convocation, I already landed my job. Now, there are some tips and tricks that you need to know and things you need to do even while in school to get yourself ready for the job, and that is what I'm here to share with you today. So you're welcome to my channel. My name is Samuel Dano, and this is Keeping It Real with Dano. Here we share a travelable opportunity for work and for studies. We'll bring to you the reality versus the myth of life abroad, and also we bring to you the challenges faced by immigrants abroad, so that when you are preparing to leave your country to the UK or any other country, you will know what to do. You will know what awaits you. You will have been better prepared, and what you know that decision you're making is the right one. So if you are a returning subscriber, thank you very much for subscribing. I really appreciate you. But if you are coming to this channel for the very first time, please do me a favor and subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell so that when we upload new content, you will be notified. All right, so without much ado, let's go on to the topic of today. I'm going to start with the number one, which is not actually one we argue is not actually a very important requirement, but it is. And I will tell you why. The number one is that you need to learn and know how to drive. Yes. Now, there are mistakes that some of us did when we came to the UK. Like myself, I came into the UK and I got my professional driver license right on time, but I didn't make effort to learn how to drive. Okay. Now, but if you are watching this video from your home country, please learn how to drive from your home country. Yes, I know why I'm saying this. I made a video on 13 things you should do before moving or traveling abroad. I'm going to link the video in the description of this video so you can go and watch it, and you'll understand why I said learn how to drive from your country. Now, learning how to and knowing how to drive is very important for many reasons. The first is that there are some jobs that make it a requirement that you must know how to drive. So you may have ticked all the boxes in that job, but because you don't know how to drive, you may not get that job. I know a lot of people who don't know how to, who have lost opportunities or jobs like that because they do not know how to drive. Okay, so it is important you learn how to drive. So that is number one. Now, number two thing you need to do to position yourself properly to get a job in the UK is the UK labor market most of the time, almost all the time, require a UK work experience. Now that puts you in a disadvantaged position as an international student, because you may have just been here for 1 year for your master's or 3 years for your undergraduate studies. You have not worked anywhere in the UK. Okay, but that is a requirement in some cases. So how do you get this UK work experience? Now, there are many ways you can get this UK work experience, and that is mostly through voluntary work. Now, there are platforms. One of them is Bright Network. Bright Network in the UK here is a platform that gives international students or students in the UK the opportunity to get relevant work experience doing some virtual work. Okay, you may not be working with them directly, but they link you to other companies, organizations that have such opening. And most of these virtual work experience schemes are voluntary. They don't pay you for it, but they allow you to do real work tasks. And at the end of the day, you can put that in your CV and to serve it will serve as a relevant UK work experience. So that is one way you can get UK work experience. Number two way you can get UK work experience is through charity and non-for-government work. Now, there are a lot of charities in the UK and some non-for-profit agencies in the UK where you can go and volunteer to work for them. It's of course for free. I can do that part-time. I know this is very difficult because as an international student, you need to work, you need to pay your bills and all of those things. So now the 20 working hours, because according to the UK visa rule, the 20 working hours include both paid and unpaid jobs. So that becomes more of a challenge, okay? But of course you can do it, because since you are not being paid for those ones, I'm not sure there's any way to reflect that you are working anywhere. So if you work for most of this charity, you can do it during your spare time, all right? You can do it during your spare time. They are not paying you after all, and you have bills to pay, so you have to work, of course. So if you can do this during your spare time, all right? But at the end of the day, you can put that as one of your as the work experience you have. And trust me, the UK, I don't know, for whatever reason, they appreciate voluntary works. If you work as a volunteer, I have a friend who who volunteered during the COVID and was even given an award. Okay, but that is another way you can get a relevant UK work experience. The third way you can get UK work experience is through placement and internship. Now, some of our courses have this compulsory component for placement, while some courses have it as optional, which means if you don't get the placement, you can still graduate. It will not affect your program or your total the grade you'll be graduating with. Okay, but if you are able to secure that placement, like in my own case, okay, I studied cybersecurity and it's a master's degree for 1 year, but it had a 1 year optional placement. Okay, but because I knew that was very important for me, and trust me, that was one of the things that gave me an edge into landing my first job even before I did my convocation. That placement was very, very, very key to my securing my job. Now, if you are doing a course that has an optional placement, please don't just look at it and wave it aside and say, this is optional, it doesn't affect my grade. Yeah, of course, it will not affect your grade. As a matter of fact, most of these placements for optional courses are not assessed. Yes, you will do everything every other person do, but it does not go into your overall scores it does not determine the grade you graduate with. Okay, but some of the schools, they give you a placement, a certificate to show that you did a placement, which can also go into your CV. All right, but apart from the certificate going to your CV, you can also put that placement you did in your CV. Okay, that will also serve for you as a UK work experience. All right, now I know it is very difficult as an international student to secure placement. I have been there. I know the challenges I had to go through and what I had to do. Okay, that is why we're going to do a video, myself and a university student who is currently on placement. We're going to do a video. We're going to talk about the challenges we went through, how we're able to go through those challenges, what we learned, and how you can apply and secure a placement and where you can go searching for these placement opportunities. We are going to do that video. So if you have not subscribed to this channel, I think this is another reason why you should subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell. So that is another thing you need to do. Now, the next thing you need to do to prepare yourself for a job and make it easy for you to secure a job in the UK is certifications. Whether you are doing human resource management, project management, whatever degree you are doing, now there are some level of certifications. There are some certain certifications in your field, all right, that you can do that will give you an edge. Okay, now for instance, I did cybersecurity. Okay, there are some certifications that are seen as entry-level certifications. Okay, you may not go to begin to do most of those high certifications that will need experience for you to be able to achieve them. There are some entry-level certifications that you can do, you can study, write the exam, and be certified by a professional body. Okay, now those certifications will also help you very importantly. Look, I have friends who did not do those certifications before we graduated, and they were applying for jobs. They were not even getting calls for interviews. Immediately they went and those certifications and added them to their CV. They started getting interviews, and they even started getting some recruiters even call them directly without them applying and telling them, look, we saw your CV here and looking for a role. What is your situation and all of those things? You understand? And once you go where you do well and they conduct interview for you and you do well, you land yourself a job. So certifications is very, very important. Another thing is that many schools in the UK, I understand, have this partnership. I don't know if it's a partnership or agreement with LinkedIn, where with your student account, you can log on to LinkedIn Learning and you can learn. Look, there are tons and tons of trainings you can do on LinkedIn to boost your chance of getting a job and to also increase your knowledge of whatever field you are studying. And when you do those courses, of course, it is automatically added to your LinkedIn page. And of course, if you don't have a LinkedIn account, this is the time I will tell you this. Create a LinkedIn account and update it as often as possible, because you can get job offer directly from LinkedIn, from recruiters on LinkedIn without even applying for them. So they'll contact you, send you mails, and tell you, we saw your CV, we'll go to your profile, there's this opportunity we are recruiting for, and we'll see you as a good fit for that role. Are you interested? And all of those things. So have a LinkedIn profile, okay? And with your school account, you can access LinkedIn Learning, and there are a lot of things you can learn there. When you finish that learning, you can add that code thing you did to your profile on LinkedIn. You can even print out the certificate if you want to, okay? And you can even go as far as adding those things you've learned in your CV as well. Make sure you utilize all these avenues and get yours and train, and whatever training you do, please paste it on your LinkedIn profile. Okay, put it on your LinkedIn wall, add it to your profile. Okay, and then because those things are visible to employers, they will see it and they will contact you. So that is another way you can actually prepare, do training or certifications if you like. But LinkedIn Learning does not give you a certification, but they give you a certificate of completion, which shows that you've gone through that program and you have completed it. So that also can increase your chances of getting a job. Now, the next one we'll be talking about in terms of getting a job is attending network events, professional network events in your field. There are many bodies, okay, in many sectors that organizes professional events where you can go, and most of the time these events are organized to connect recruiters and job seekers, connect them together and create a platform where they can interact. These things, sometimes even schools sometimes organize events like that, some kind of job fair, and other organizations also organize. They can call it a different name, but it's an opportunity for you to meet employers, recruiters. Okay, now there are people who even get job right there in those events. And that is why you need to go there with your CV. Prepare your CVs. Make sure you have a good CV. Okay, go there with at least 3 copies of those CVs. So as you interact with employers and recruiters alike, this event most of the time bring in recruiters who in the same sector. So, for example, if you're studying, let me say, human resource management, maybe there's a program or an event organized by maybe a body, okay, a human resource management body or whatever it is. You can go there with your CVs, interact with recruiters there, okay. Now, some of them may even interview at the spot and offer you jobs. I have seen that happen. I have seen somebody get a job even without finishing school, okay, and she was asked to work with them on a part-time prior to her graduation. The minute she finished her school, she resumed with them, okay, on a graduate scheme, which is another thing you can also apply for. You may not apply for a direct job, job, professional job. You can apply for graduate scheme. Graduate scheme also is a job, and any company that takes you in for graduate scheme, there are very, very high chances that they will retain you at the end of that graduate scheme, okay, because they are investing in you, they are training you, okay. Some of them are assigned to a mentor, okay. They're exposed to every aspect of the business, and they teach you everything you need to know in that field. So there are very high chances that will keep you. But most of those ones, apart from applying for them online, you can also meet them through events. I have gone to events where I've met a lot of big PwC, JP Morgan, FDM, a lot of high-profile companies coming in there. Some of them, they even bring people who are working with them under their graduate scheme to talk to you, to share their experience, how their experience working with the company. Which, you know, that is actually a marketing strategy to attract people to apply to work with them. Okay, so do not ignore such events. Go online, search for them. Their website, you can go where you can see. Some of them will tell you events that have been scheduled to hold at different locations, even outside your country where you're studying. Okay, if you can go, you go, because some of them give discount for students who are coming in. It allows you to network with professionals in that field, in your field, and also allow you to network with recruiters as well. Those network events are very important. You should not ignore them for any reason. I hope I have been able to add value to you. I hope you were able to pick something very important in this video. And if you have, please give it a thumbs up. Like I said earlier, if you are looking at getting a placement, doing a placement as part of your studies, please subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell, because we'll be uploading a very informative content on how to secure a placement as an international student. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the next video.